Here's your look at the Ultimate Bride of Chucky, Chucky by Neca.
You got your wish. You're mine now, doll. And if you know what's good for you, you are going to love, honor, and obey.
Alright, so this Chucky figure here is actually a Walmart exclusive release. He originally came packaged in an Ultimate 2-pack that came with Tiffany and some additional accessories. However, a few years after the fact, Neca released a standalone Chucky with a select few accessories that came with the 2-pack. And that is the one we will be reviewing today. And this is technically a Seed of Chucky figure too. We'll touch more on that as we go along. So before anything else, let's go ahead and look at the accessories that Chucky comes with. And this is in no specific order, I might add. So the first thing that Chucky comes packaged with is a little pistol that he brandishes in the Bride of Chucky film. You can see the sculpt work is very well done. There's some texture work here on the handle. You can see the trigger. Very nicely done. You can see the safety there. A little bit of silver there for the clip where the bullets would come out after you fire them. I assume I'm not really a gun person, nor do I know what model pistol this is, but regardless, Chucky comes with that. Next up, he comes with something that a lot of these horror icons have brandished, which is a knife. This here looks almost more like a standard kitchen knife. Not quite what Michael Myers would use, but you can see a little bit of a serrated effect on this side here. However, it does not look like it carries over to the other side, which is a little interesting, but you get what you get. The handle is painted in black, and you can see the individual rivet points there, painted in a nice metallic silver. Same color of silver afforded to the actual blade of the knife. And you can see where the blade of the knife has been sandwiched between the two halves of the handle there, just like a real kitchen knife would be. Very nice. Well done sculpt as well. Capping off the stuff from the Bride of Chucky film, he has the Heart of Dumbala. This is a real chain, by the way. This is something you do want to be careful with because it is very small and I imagine it's fragile. And you can see here on this side here, it has sculpted in, kind of hard to read, but Ade Due Dumbala Awake, which is what Glenn uses in Seed of Chucky to get his parents to awake. And then on the front of the amulet here, you can see just all kinds of inscriptions there with the red jewel in the middle. I do not know much about voodoo, or if this even relates to much voodoo. I imagine it doesn't, seeing how it is just a film, but overall, very nice. We will be touching on how these accessories come into play with the figure as we go along here. And last but not least, making its appearance in Seed of Chucky, we have a nice little fire axe here. Long red handle here, with the silver head of the axe. Very nice and vibrant. You can see at the top there where it would have been attached to the actual handle, the actual top of the axe, the head of the axe. Very nice. It is the biggest weapon he comes with. And he does come with some interchangeable parts, but I will be going over that as we look at the figure himself. So, looking at the Ultimate Chucky here, you can see, just a little quick spin around, we will be looking at him in more detail. But before we do that, I do want to bring in the original release Chucky here. Granted, he does have a knife on his hand, but you get the gist. Most notably for me is his outfit looks much more distressed on the Bride of Chucky one, which is accurate, I should say. You know, just with the tears and discoloration and staining. And his face is just, he's seen better days on both of these. However, he is in much more dire condition on the new release, which is accurate from the film. There's a comparison of side profiles here. Granted, there are interchangeable heads, so that will look different from sculpt to sculpt. The hair looks just about the same color, as do all the other details, like the skin on his lips and his eye color. The only real difference is his skin looks almost more natural on this figure compared to this one, which that could just be chalked down to him becoming more human over time and getting a more natural skin tone on this one compared to this one here, where he almost has more of a dull skin complexion. There's a look at the backs here. Very, very similar. Just this one here looks to have a darker coverall base tone. Setting the first Chucky aside, let's take a look at Chucky himself. In terms of the head sculpt he comes with straight out of the package, I must say it is just spectacular. It looks amazing on him. You can see all the different stitch work done by Tiffany to try to piece together Chucky here. You can see staples here, painted in a metallic silver, similar to what we saw on his weapons. You can see just in the middle of some gashes what looks to be like the metal skull plates of the doll, I want to imagine. Along with some red afforded to all the just gashes, like the skin's irritated or in the process of trying to heal. If Chucky can even heal. But as he becomes human, I imagine this will close up. But as evidenced in Curse of Chucky, I don't think that's the case, but I'm thinking too much into it. You can see there, just along his jawline, leading up to his mouth. And this eye here just has all kinds of gruesome detail afforded to it. A glossy red paint for the blood there. They really did capture the tone of blood very nicely here. Some nice shading around this eye here to kind of make it look sunken. And that really does contrast nicely to the red around this eye. Looking at his hair here, you can see nicely sculpted widow's peak. And his hair is just in patches from where it's been stapled on. And you can even see here, he's got a little bald spot with even more damage there. Very nice. Just kind of patchy all around, and his hair is just a long, gangly mess back here. Moving on to the body of Chucky here, you can see the trademark good guy coveralls, but they have been afforded some damage, along with his striped shirt here. You can just see a big tear right there where you can actually see the striping of his shirt underneath there, which is a nice attention to detail. His shirt overall just has all kinds of scar work all over it. Even down to the sleeve here. The tears lower on his body are filled in with a black paint, but still looks nice. And that continues to the back as well. His shirt also has some damage to it, as you'd expect. Moving on to his shoes here, not much has really changed from the first Chucky release. His shoes are relatively unscathed from his accident in Child's Play 3. Kind of a miracle. His hands, you can see his right hand has a big scar on the back of it. That does carry over to all the interchangeable hands. Nice sculpt on the hands here. Little stubby doll fingers. Looks very artificial, which is very accurate. I like that. And I actually do not have the relaxed hand for this side of the Bride of Chucky release. I do not know where it went. I just, for whatever reason, have misplaced it somewhere. Which, how that happened is beyond me. As far as articulation goes for Chucky here, His head is on a ball joint, so it can spin all the way around. Granted, be careful of the hair here. You don't want any of that paint to rub off. Can spin all the way around. Rock side to side. Look up. About that far. Hindered by his hair, of course. Look down. Pretty considerably. So you do get a nice range of motion in the head here. I think a ball joint does work best for Chucky. His arms fold up to about there. Just about a T-pose, but not quite. They do spin here, as you can see. Bend at the elbow, which can twist. Then as far as his hands, they can slightly hinge up and down and left and right, and they do spin around. He does have a slight crunch in his abdomen, I believe. Not a whole lot, granted, but it's there, I'm relatively sure. You just can't use it very much as his overalls are here. His legs split out, about that much. They kick forward. Granted, the overalls do kind of hinder that. Hinge back. Bend at the knee. And the feet can go down. They can kick back up. And they can spin all the way around. And of course, as most of the Ultimates do, he does have peg holes in the feet for a display base to be put on. So you do get a wide range of motion with this figure, which is no surprise there, given just how much articulation Neca's Ultimate line tends to have. So overall, my thoughts on this figure, just looking at it alone here, I think they did a fantastic job. The paintwork is impeccable. The sculpt is fantastic. And I think he's a nice piece to add to your collection, just looking at him by himself. Now, in terms of interchangeable parts for Chucky, he comes with another, well, not another, he comes with a gripping hand for his left side here. Again, that scar carries over. And his hand is more clasped in order to put in different accessories, which I will show you guys that in a moment. And he comes with a hand with a wider grip, more suited for the pistol or maybe the fire axe for the left side. Or no, the right side, sorry. And he would come with a relaxed hand for this side here, but I just have the gripped side on it, which is pretty much the same as this gripped hand, just on this side. In terms of alternative head sculpts that you can switch out, he comes with this one here from Bride of Chucky, where his mouth is open and he's kind of laughing. Bringing in the default head sculpt here, you can see his brows are a bit more furrowed, and he's got a wide grin there with the open mouth. The teeth paintwork, surprisingly, on both of these is pretty clean, which you don't see often from a lot of companies. But here this is. And the other sculpt he comes with is from Seed of Chucky. Here you can see he looks very similar to the Bride of Chucky. The main thing that I notice is his hair is significantly longer. He still has the widow's peak, but it almost is like a middle part there where it comes down on either side. But yeah, he's smirking here, kind of snarky, which fits his character very well. He still has a lot of damage to his face. So just comparing it to the regular Bride of Chucky head, he does look slightly different, like his head is almost a little bit wider and scrunched up here, but he still looks really good. To switch these heads out, what you're going to want to do is grab Chucky's head here, and you can twist and pull, and it'll pop right off, revealing a little ball joint to you. And then you grab the head that you want to put on him. Let's do the laughing head sculpt. And you can heat these up with a hairdryer or some hot water, which you may have to, given the nature of a ball joint, but you're just going to want to press and twist, and it'll go on there. Here's Chucky laughing and making a mockery of you. Doesn't this just look nice? To switch out the hands, you can just grab and pull and twist, same drill as before, and you'll be revealed with a even smaller ball joint. Then you can just grab the hand you want to put on. I'm doing the gripping one with the smaller grip here. And then you can just push it right on. You'll hear a pop and it'll be on there. You can set Chucky up in his devious ways as you wish. So in terms of what I want to give him for sake of display here, we'll go with the knife. So you can use a hairdryer to heat up the fingers if you so choose to, but you can try to work its way in there. Just be mindful, kind of work away the fingers on it, and be careful not to break anything. Now he's holding this the wrong way, but that's my mistake, but you get the point here. And of course, seeing how he has a wide range of posability, you can really set him up in some crazy poses here if you have a display stand handy, which I do not, but get that foot there, that'll bother me. You can really get a lot of display choices out of this figure here. Overall, I would say it is worth picking up. If you do not want the Tiffany from the 2-pack, I'd say this here is a solid release to pick up. And especially at the cheaper price than the 2-pack, seeing how you're only getting one figure compared to the 2 that come with the 2-pack. And if you're not all that big of a fan of Tiffany, then this here would be a solid release to get. So much so that I would say this is actually a better figure release over the original Chucky, just because when these two are like sitting next to each other, your eyes would immediately be drawn to just the decayed mess that Chucky is in this point of a timeline. And with that concludes this review of the Ultimate Bride of Chucky by Neca. If you enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like and a comment telling me what you think of the video. And if you want to see more from me, feel free to subscribe so that all my videos will appear in your subscription box. Thank you so much for watching, and this has been another review from Peanut Butter and Jacob. Have a good day.